Hello, everyone, and welcome to AV Immigration's walkthrough series on the Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program, or OINP Employer Portal. So, in this video series, we'll guide you step by step on how to create an employer account, submit a job offer, help your employee register for an expression of interest, or what they call EOI, and complete the application for approval of an employment position. So this new employer-led process is mandatory starting July 2, 2025. So that's today. All job offers and employment position applications must now go through the OINP employer portal. So let's go ahead and get started. The first step really is for you to go to the OINP e-filing portal using the latest version of Chrome, Firefox, or Edge for easy access. The main portal will look like this, the one that you see on your screen. So to access the portal, you just need to complete the reCAPTCHA security check-in here. So you just click this, and normally it won't show a check mark, but that's there. So if you click continue, you should see this, and then you'll see this page. Okay. So in this page, you now will have the option to create a new account if you don't have an OINP portal account yet. If you do have one existing, you just need to provide your email address and your password, and then you sign in, and then you'll see the landing page for where we will begin the process. So for those that don't have one yet, so you just click create account, and then from here, you just put in your authorized email address that you would like to use. And then let's see. So in my case, I'll just use a test email address so you can see. Okay. And then passwords right there. So just click agree to the terms of service and then create account. And then just need to enter a verification code quickly. So that specific verification code will be sent to the email address that you've provided. So just click verify, and then you'll be signed in. Let me just save that, and then you'll see this page right here. Okay, so once you're in here, for us to proceed with the registration process, you just click new employer. So if you click this one, you'll then be asked to complete the disclaimer confirming you're authorized to act for the business. So we'll say yes. And then, yes, I have read and understood the criteria for registering my business. So just click continue. And then you'll be brought to this page right here. So once you're in this page, you'll then be asked to complete all these sections to provide your business information, such as your business CRA number, the legal name, head office address, and other required contact information. And then we'll just go ahead and fill that out quickly. So we just fill that out. Right, so we've filled out this part right here. So you just put in your CRA number, your legal name, the legal name of the employer and the operating name, and then your business address, the head office location, and all that information in there. So once that's there, you just click next, and then page will then ask you to provide the signing officer information. So this includes your job title, your phone number, and your email. So let me go ahead and fill this out quickly. So I'll put in my last name, my Verzosa, and then my first name, Angela, and then my job titles. So say I'm the managing director of the business, and then my phone number. And then it'll show you the email address that we provided earlier on in the process. And then you just click next in there. And then now this is where you review and confirm the declaration. So you declare that, again, you're the authorized signing officer of the employer and that you're authorized to register the employer with the OINP, or the Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program, for the purposes of submitting an application for approval of an employment position. So again, I'll show you again just your job title, and then you just need to type in your name right here again. And then you can just click this box right here for authorization, and then the date will automatically pop up in there, and then you just click confirm. So, okay, so once that's done, okay, so I have actually registered this the same information earlier, so that's why it's just showing this information, but you shouldn't encounter this error. So this is only gonna pop up when you've already created an account. So let me just open the previous one that I have created just for your for our example today. Okay, just give me 1 second. All right, so earlier on, once you've already completed all that information and submitted, you will receive a confirmation email from, again, the email address that you provided that your account has been created. Okay, so after registering, you just need to go back to the landing page that we've created, that I've shown you guys earlier, where you log in. And then once you go there, you should be able to see a landing page. Now, for me, I restarted the process. So I log back in. And then once I log back in, it will show you this. And then I just need to put in my name and the email address that I used the first time I did this. And then I'll be brought to the home, the employer portal landing page, which would look exactly like this. Okay. So once we're here, we just need to work on these two areas first before we start to create a job offer application for the applicants or the employees that you are going to be supporting for OINP. Okay, so let's work on the employer profile first. So you just need to click this area right here, and then I'll show you this information. So again, the CRA number, the business name, the address that we provided earlier on when we created this. And then you just need to click next. And then you provide the employer information. So we provided this already earlier on. Just double check and then click next. Now, this is the area that we don't have yet at this point. So we're going to have to complete this section. So we'll be asked to provide information like the business revenue, legal structure, your incorporation number, the date when you've incorporated, your gross annual revenue range, the number of full-time employees, your NAICS code based on the business type of business that you have, and the business activities and compliance with labor and health and safety laws before we can submit. Okay, so let me just quickly fill this out and then we'll go through it quickly together. Okay, just give me 1 second. All right. So again, so I'm back. So we'll have to fill this out. So the date of establishment, so pretty much this is just straightforward, the date when you started your active operations for the business, how your what the legal structure is. Is it incorporated? Do you have LLP or sole proprietorship structure, your incorporation number. Again, these are all required information, so you can't skip it. And then a question about, has your business been amalgamated in the last 3 years? So if you answer yes in here, you just need to explain and describe what transpired, how it happened, and then provided a date on when the actual amalgamation. So for now, for my example, I just put in no, and then has your business been active for at least 3 years? So the question is very specific because it is a requirement that you have been in an active business operation in Ontario for at least 3 years to qualify for you to support an application of your employees. So this should be yes. If you answered no, then that means, you're not qualified to proceed with this application at the moment. Okay, so we'll put yes. And the next is the gross revenue for the most recently completed fiscal year prior to the application. So this is the gross revenue. So just for everyone's information, if your business is within the Greater Toronto Area or GTA, you're required to have at least $1 million of gross revenue to qualify to provide support. Otherwise, if your business is outside the GTA, then you have to have at least $500,000 to provide support to your employee. Now, if it's under 500,000, so again, the same, your business is not eligible at the moment to provide support for an application. Okay, so for now, I'll put so say my business is within GTA, I'll put $1 million to 1,999,999 for now. And the next previous fiscal year start date. So this one's you mean want to check with your accountant to make sure that everything's good. For now, I'll put mine on 12/12/2023 and in 2024. And then click next. And then once that's done, you'll be able to provide some information. So identify your economic sector according to the North American Industry Classification System, the 2-digit code. So it'll be based on here. So say, for example, you work in a hospital. So that will be under 62 or healthcare. If you work in the education sector, then it will be 61 for educational services. And then all other information right here to pick from. So for now, I'll just say I'm working under the accommodation and food services, and I'll provide a good description of the business that I am running. So this is just an example, but then you'll have to provide 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's what that is. And then the number of business locations operating in Ontario, in the province of Ontario. So if you only have one branch, you just put one. If you have other branch operating from another city or another location within the province of Ontario, you will need to count them. So for now, let's say I have two. So the number of full-time employees working in all locations, so meaning if you have one location in, say, London, Ontario, that has 10 employees, and then you have a GTA branch that also has 10 employees, then you have to count both. So that's going to give you 20. So keep in mind that we're counting number of full-time employees working in all locations, a Canadian citizen and permanent residents working minimum of 1,560 hours per year. So meaning only Canadians and permanent resident full-time employees will be counted. If you have two employees that are part-time and you can count two part-time employees working, say, 15 hours or at least 15 hours each, then two full part-time employees can be equal to one full-time, but you don't count them as two different employees because you're only able to count one full-time if you have a total of 1,560 hours. Okay, so we'll do 20 for example. And then does your business currently have outstanding orders under the Ontario Employment Standards Act 2000? So here specifically, it's pretty much asking you if there are some ongoing issues around this. So if there's none, just say no. If you answered yes, then you're going to be asked to explain what that is. So no. And then does your business currently have outstanding orders under the Ontario Occupational Health and Safety Act? So again, your business must not have any outstanding order for your application to be approved. So you must answer no. If at any point in time you will answer yes, you're going to have to provide the reasoning and the information about that. Okay. So just say no. And then at this point, you want to make sure that you've reviewed all of the information before you click submit. Because the moment you click submit, these information cannot be edited. So the only way for you to edit it is to request kind of like a web form or a submission to OINP. It's like their customer service for actually you to reach out directly to them to make all those edits and correction. Okay. So for now, I feel good about what I have here. So I'll go ahead and proceed with submitting. And then once that's submitted, it'll show you that, we're good in there. So the next area that you're going to be updating is the employer contact. Okay. So if you click this, I already added a contact here. So if you want to add new contact, you can add more. So say, for example, I want to add VP of operations. So it doesn't phone number, and then email. Add contact. Okay, so there, so you have an employer contact and then a signing officer. So here you have the option to remove them at some point if you don't want them to stay there. So once that's done, we'll go ahead and go back to home. So we're done with the employer contacts and the profile. So now it's time for us to create the job offer. So like this. Okay, so I've created a sample earlier, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do this. So first, we'll do create new job offers. So click that. And then once you click that, you will be asked for this information. So if it's an international student stream, a foreign worker stream, or in-demand skill stream. So your employee should know the specific stream that they qualify for. So I recommend to reach out to them to ask them what type of stream are they applying for. So it's not very difficult for you to, go through that determination and decision and what specific stream. So for instance, they are under the international student stream, so I'll pick that one. And then you just need to fill out all this information, their last name, their first name, their middle name if they have one, and then their personal email address. So typically this is the email address where they would get communication from OINP. So say for example, I will put in um, um, I have an employee and personal email is, let's just say, oops. Okay. Just 1 second. Hmm. All right. So my initial example wasn't being accepted, so I just played around it. So right now I have an international student stream applicant, Pamela Smith. So this is her email and then the position title. So we'll create a draft for that. And then once a draft is created, you'll be brought to the initial page. Let's just wait for a little bit. Okay, there you go. So now you have this information right here. So for you to continue on with this specific submission, because it has to show it's submitted, not on draft. Okay, so we have to click this radio button right here. And then once you click that, you'll be provided with additional options. So what you want to do is you want to edit. Okay, so once that's there, you'll be brought here. You want to move on to the next page and then it'll show you the job offer information. So this one is the National Occupation Classification Code. It's 5 digits. This is based on the duties and responsibilities of your actual employee. So say for example, your employee, so in my case, I have an admin officer in here. So it's 13100 administrative officer, and then the hourly wage. So say for example, I have this employee at $25. So is this position permanent and full-time? The answer here should be yes, because if you answered no, it will prompt, this is actually not going to be a qualified submission, because one of the requirement for the job offer stream for OINP is that the present employment contract should be full-time permanent. Okay, so this should be a yes. And then it'll ask you for the business location. If it's the same as the head office location, you just need to tick this button right here. If not, then you'll just have to provide the new address. So I'll just put, yes, it's the same. And then is this location in the GTA area? So again, it's trying to make that determination and connection to the earlier profile that you've created regarding the revenues. Okay. So if you click yes, then the expectation is the employer, you as the employer, have indicated that you have $1 million of gross revenue or higher in the last fiscal year that you have declared. Or if you are not in the GTA area, the expectation is at least you have $500,000. Okay, so I'll just say no and then click next. And then the employer contact. So again, this is something that cannot be edited. You've already provided that earlier on. Just click next. And then is someone assisting you with completing this application? So you as the employer, if you have a representative, such as, a consultant or a lawyer helping you out, you just need to put in yes, and then you need to make sure that you add the representative to the job offer later. I'll show you how. So, but if you put in no, then there's no need to add anyone in there. But for our example today, I'll show you how to add someone that will assist you. So I'll put yes in here, and then I'll move on and say next. And then just look at this quickly. So we'll go ahead and put in no here, and then I'll show you how to add a representative later on in the main dashboard. So let's just click next here. And then the declaration and submission. So again, this one, you're going to have to put in the information. Okay, so we're here at the declaration, so we just need to carefully review everything at this point, and then we complete our declaration. So again, as the employer doing this, I need to put in my name and last name. And okay, so if you have added another person in here, like earlier, what I did, I've added, say, an administrative officer, Michael Berzosa, to help me out with this. So he will need to put in his name here if he's the one filling this out. Okay, so click the box by checking that, and then quickly check for errors if everything's good. So if the form is valid, then you can go ahead and proceed and submit your job offer. So once that's submitted, the employee or the applicant should get a notification through their email with a job offer ID. So the employee, who's the applicant, may then use that job offer ID to register their expression of interest. Okay, so you cannot make changes to the job offer once you've already submitted it. So at this point, you see that the status is submitted. You can't edit that. So if you also need to make changes, you will be required to withdraw the application. So the way to do it is, again, just click on the radio button right here. And then you should see this button right here, the withdraw. So you just need to withdraw, and then you're going to have to register a new one using the new job offer ID. Okay, so just a quick reminder, and some reminders that you may share to your employees or the applicant. The job offer ID will remain valid for up to 30 days only. So for the employee applicant to register their expression of interest. So this means if they do not register their expression of interest within 30 days, the job offer ID will expire and the job offer will be automatically withdrawn. So you'll need to create a new job offer again for the employee applicant to register their expression of interest once again. Now, that's one reminder that you may want to share with them. Let me just see. So earlier on, I did mention that you can add an employer representative per submission. So as you can see right here, there's no representative yet. So if you want to add someone, you can click add right here. So it's just reading. And then here you're going to say, yes, someone's assisting me. Yes, I will pay. Yes, I've received an assistance from an authorized rep. And if it's, a lawyer, you put in the Law Society of Ontario. If they're a regulated Canadian immigration consultant like myself, you choose the second option. And then you enter their first and last name right here. So I'll just say my name, last name, and then the email address. And then you search it. So once it's there, click appoint, and then you just click appoint to appoint them as the representative for there. Okay, so why? So sometimes some people would ask, why do I need to appoint a representative for this? Okay, so some employees don't really have a lot of time to actually do all of this, specifically employers that have many employees or applicants that are participating in the OINP. So what they could normally do is just create a new job offer like this. So once it's created, to see here. Um, and then you create a draft. So just put the name. So say, for example, employee one, name one, and then, oops, let's just say it's like this, just so we can move forward. Employee personal address. So say, um, job title. So say they are my social media manager this time. So, you know how after this one, you have like a lot of other additional information that you need to fill out. If you don't have time to do that, you can just do this first page right here. And then you click create draft. And then once the draft is created, you can then assign a representative for that specific account. And what's going to happen is the assigned representative will have access to all of the drafts that you have created, and then they can work on it. They can complete the actual submission on your behalf. So this is where, some of the consultants would come in, like where I come in. So if you need help around completion of the employer portion, you're concerned that you may not have the time to actually dedicate to do this for your employees, just reach out to us. Um, our email address is at info@avimmigration.ca. You can always reach out to us, and then we can schedule a time to chat, and we can discuss how we can help your organization to do this for you. And then just another reminder also before I end this this video for today. Once you have already created the job offer ID or created their profile, your employer receives the job offer ID. Your employee or applicant will then have to create their expression of interest, just like what I said earlier, within 30 days, within 30 calendar days. So once they submit their expression of interest, their name will now be placed in a pool of candidates and will wait to be invited for an application to OINP. So once they get nominated or they get invited by OINP, they actually have so you as the employer, you must actually apply for an approval of the employment position within 14 days of the invitation. So what's going to happen is if they get invited, they will get an email notification, and you as an employer will also get an email notification that there's an action that's pending that you need to do. So you will have to approve the employment position within 14 days of the invite. So once you're done with the invite, within 14 days, the employee will then have the rest of the time up to 17 calendar days from the date of the, again, invitation to submit their full application or their part. So your employees cannot submit their application if you do not act within the 14 days provided to you. So remember, creating a job offer is not the same as applying to the OINP. Approval comes only after an invitation is received and both steps are actually completed. Okay, so yeah, so some key reminders and contact information. So again, thank you for watching our employer portal video for today. So just to recap, you need to use the OINP employer portal to submit job offers. You need to ensure that the employee submits their expression of interest within 30 days, again, 30 calendar days. And then you have to complete your part quickly if your employee gets invited. Okay. So again, if you need help, please reach out to us at AV Immigration and Visa Services Incorporated. We're here to support both employers and applicants every step of the way. So you can always visit our website or contact us directly for personalized assistance. Our website is www.avimmigration.ca, or you can email us at info@avimmigration.ca. If you need to schedule a quick chat to discuss further your needs and how we can help you, just reach out. We'll be so glad to help you. Okay, so that's everything for today, and hope this is helpful. If you have questions or need further assistance, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you again, and have a great rest of your day. Bye for now.